Hello Flosstube, welcome back. I am Jenny. This is my channel, Stitching Jennie. Today is March 7th. Double check. March 7th, 2024. This is Flosstube number 15. So kind of let's start with a few life updates. So, the evening after I filmed, I started to, my last Flosstube, Valentine's Day, I started to not feel super great. And I ended up getting really sick. I woke up Thursday morning just feeling kind of off, knowing that my daughter had a fever for 3 days. I decided I'm just going to take the day off. It was rainy. I didn't want to go stand out in the rain. I wasn't feeling well. So by the end of the night, I could not even lift a fork to my mouth. Like, it was so difficult to eat dinner. I just sat on the couch and it was all I could do to eat dinner. I was like in tears. I did not feel well. So that lasted, so that was Thursday. It wasn't until Sunday I started getting a little bit of my energy back. So quite a while. Just really not feeling well, so I didn't even stitch at all for, it was probably almost 5 days that I didn't even stitch in February because I was so sick. Then Monday was President's Day, so Sunday I was feeling a little bit better. Monday was President's Day, and my daughter had come home from college, and she lives, her college campus is in kind of up in the mountains, in a valley up in the mountains, and you have to go through a canyon to get there. And it's kind of known as being kind of having wonky weather in that canyon and very different from the rest of the valleys. And I went and took her back up to college thinking, hey, I have some energy, I'll be fine. Well, while we were there, the rain started to change over to heavier rain. And then it became some heavier snow, like the big fat flakes, just kind of hitting, kind of a mix of slush, snow. And then it was like starting to kind of come down a little bit. So I hurried, took my daughter home. And in hindsight, if I had just gone somewhere else to eat, if we'd been faster, or if I'd skipped, taking her out to dinner, I would have been fine. But by the time I got to her apartment in the middle of campus down to Main Street, it started getting kind of bad. And kind of the turnoff up towards the canyon, it was getting really difficult to see, coming down super fast, lots of snow on the ground. Anyway, called my husband right before I hit the canyon, just kind of like, it says that the semis need extra traction. It's too late to turn around. I'm scared. And it was probably one of the most white knuckle drives I've had in a long time. And I was crying and then trying not to cry. And then, anyway, I've never been so grateful to see the bottom of that canyon in my life. What normally takes me 30 minutes took me an hour and 20 minutes. So, needless to say, the last few weeks have been quite eventful. So, I am grateful it's now March. I'm grateful that this weekend starts her spring break. I am grateful that she has a ride home and that it's not raining. Because even after I got out of the canyon, it was still like pouring rain, and Utah doesn't often see like sheets of rain. So, and especially at night, like, I'm just not used to driving in it, and it was just really scary. So anyway, the whole way home, my husband was very sweet, very kind. He stayed on the phone with me the whole way home. I had to stop at a gas station after I got out of the canyon. My hands were literally like shaking like this. It was kind of scary, but that's kind of my eventful February. But we're in March. March is probably my favorite month ever. Why, do you ask? Why? Because it's my birthday month. I kind of love my birthday. I will say when I turned 40, that was very difficult. More so than I thought, because I've always loved my birthday. But in Utah, it kind of is the signal of switching over from winter into spring. I mean, not necessarily for my birthday. Definitely not for my birthday. I was born in a blizzard. So it's very common to have snow in Utah. The first couple of weeks, even random ones here and there, but they typically don't stick very long. It's only like a day or two, and then it's melted, and then a day or two here and there, and it's melted. So that's the other part of it. Usually by mid-March, we're starting to kind of turn over to some of that more spring weather, and that first week in April, it's usually really beautiful. So my birthday, I am starting a SAL, a stitch along, for those that don't know what that means. My birthday is March 12th, so on Tuesday, and it is hashtag birthday Bunny SAL, and I will put that right here. So you can see that. I took a poll on my Instagram account to see if anyone would want to stitch bees or bunnies with me. Bunnies won, and so I'm gonna stitch some bunnies. I will show you some different bunny options that I have near the end of the video. Also, something kind of exciting is Saturday, next week Saturday, is my 3rd Flosstube anniversary. Not that I've been super faithful during that 3 years. Kind of off and on throughout the 3 years. They're really steady for a while, and then not so much, and now getting really kind of back into it. But to celebrate my birthday and my Flosstube anniversary all being the same week, I am hosting a giveaway. And the giveaway that I'm giving is designed by Emily Call. It's called I Am Brave, and this is what that looks like. I reached out to Emily to ask her if there was a way that if I purchased it, that she could email it to somebody else for this giveaway. And she was so kind and generous and said, I can definitely do that, but I want to give it to you to give away. So she is donating this giveaway. It is such a beautiful piece. I love the idea that you can stitch something to help remind you that you are brave, that you are strong, and it's the start of a series. She's working on another one, and I'm hoping it says I am enough. That's what I'm really hoping, and would for sure stitch that like in a heartbeat. I would probably drop everything and stitch it right then. So it will be a PDF copy. Because it's a PDF copy, I will open it up to international viewers as well. Use the keyword brave, BRAVE, in your comments, and you will be entered to win. It will be a random drawing. My husband will assist me with that if I can't get random comment picker to work for me. But it will be open until March 26th. I would ask that you please be a subscriber to win. I am almost to the 500 subscriber mark, which, you know, sounds kind of maybe not very much considering what some Flosstubers have, but I'm really excited to kind of hit that mark. It's been that way for a while, like just kind of right there. I think I only need, you know, a handful more. So anyway, keyword brave. Don't use the things like giveaway, you know how that works. So thank you again, Emily, for being willing to do that. Please check out her Etsy shop. She has some beautiful pieces. I love a lot of them, and I just, you know, I could buy like half of her shop. So please definitely check out Emily. It's Emily Call. And that's just it. Just Emily Call on Etsy. Okay, so I don't currently have any new fully finished items. So I thought I would share with you some of my favorite previous finished items. So this first one is by Carriage House Samplings. It's called More Than Luck. That's what that looks like. Oh, I guess I'm covering up part of it. Okay, so More Than Luck, I feel like is kind of a lesser known St. Patrick's Day cross stitch. They stitched it on a gray plaid for the cover photo, a gray plaid fabric, and I just don't think it did it justice because you couldn't see the pieces through the plaid. And I just love how this one turned out. This is stitched with all the called for threads on a 32 count linen that I dyed myself using pearl gray Rit dye. I did change the ladybug to be more red. It was kind of like a pinky, kind of a pinky orange color, and I wanted it red. So that's the only change that I really made, but I love it. It was a pretty fast stitch and it looks so pretty. And it's just a flat finish, not like a flat fold. It's even unfinished on the back. I just stick it on an easel, kind of like that. So, my next fully finished item, previous finish, is by Shepherd's Bush. It's called Lucky Notes. And that's what Lucky Notes looks like. This is it, like all in the frame. And then up close. Okay, so Lucky Notes is part of their note series. I think I've done majority of the note series. I love the little buttons, like especially the little gold buttons that make the gold coin. And it was really fun to stitch with so many different greens and a couple of different purples to really set off that green. I love the colors of St. Patrick's Day. It gets me really excited for spring. It's kind of another one of those things that really helps me get out of my seasonal depression, to be honest. Just seeing all that green, even if it's not outside, even if it's just on my piano, like hanging out. I really like it. I have all my St. Patrick's Day cross stitch out, but I have not gone and gotten out my like leprechaun and my gold and like all the things that I normally put out. So I need to do that maybe this afternoon. But anyway, this is Lucky Notes by Shepherd's Bush. Let's see. Finishes. So I have two finishes, which were also starts since the last time I saw you. I don't think I had started. I know for sure one I hadn't started. Let me check the other one. Yeah, I hadn't started the other one. So this one is called Chubby Bunny, and it's by Jeanette Douglas. And I stitched this one as part of the Make Way for Market SAL that Helen D started. It's Helen D on Flosstube and East Coast Crafter on Instagram. And the idea was that before all the market releases come, that you go and stitch something from previous markets, in particular, maybe last market in particular. But I have loved this one and had originally planned on stitching it with all the called for colors. And I think I mentioned this in my last Flosstube, but it was so small. I had a good chunk of the called for colors. So what I decided to do was just go back and switch out some of the others for something similar that I had based on the DMC color that was suggested. So the purples I switched out, and the pink I switched out with something similar. I maybe kind of feel like the pink is maybe a little too bright, but I think it looks good. I enjoy it. This is stitched on a 32 count lilac linen, or not linen, it's actually Lugana, but I feel like it's like more like a linen. There were a couple of slubs, which are, for those that don't know, it's kind of like, how to describe it? It's like extra cloth that kind of gets smashed together. You see it more with linen, and part of it is like a thicker piece of I don't know, of the linen, and sometimes it's just like kind of stuck on there. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what causes slubs. Some of you are probably screaming at me like, Jennie, that's not accurate. All I know is it causes big lumps in my cross stitch when I try to stitch on it. Luckily, all of the slubs on here were kind of like, there's one up here and there was one like down further. Anyway, I've never had that with Lugana before, so it's not typical, which is partly why I really enjoy stitching on Lugana. But anyway, I was happy with how it turned out. This one took me a lot longer than it should have, because even after I felt better, I didn't stitch much. I just didn't have the brain for it, and just still got tired really easily. So I only worked on it for maybe an hour a day, but I worked on it like probably like a week and a half. So way longer than I should have, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Then the other one that I have, this one is from an Etsy seller. It's called It's Okay, and the Etsy seller is Kitschy CrossStitch, KITSCHEY. If I remember, I'll throw that on here. But you can always look in my Dropbox. I do always put links to things if they're still on there. So this one I stitched for a friend. And that's it. Okay, so it says it's okay to not be okay, and then it has a rose. My friend's favorite color is yellow, so I picked some leftover, what was it, African Daisy, 32 count African Daisy Joblin. And then I picked a darker yellow floss. This is DMC 725, and stitched it. She is having a pretty major surgery on Tuesday, on my birthday. And I know that the recovery is going to be extensive, and she's pretty nervous about it. So I wanted to make her something. She finds great comfort in this piece, or not necessarily this piece, this phrase. It's one that I've seen her post a few times. So when I saw this on Etsy, I knew it was something that I had to stitch for her. It's been kind of a long time coming, to be honest. I've had it planned for probably 2 years at least to make it for her, and then this is kind of my final like push to actually stitch it, is knowing that she's going through this major surgery. So hopefully I can send it to her daughter. and have her daughter deliver it for me. So that's, it's okay. By Kitschy Cross Stitch. So, and that was again a new start and a finish. I actually finished it in one day. So really quick, but really powerful piece, I think. So then let's talk whips. So if you remember my whip go for February, one of the calls was my pair of Pilgrims. So keep in mind, this is my working copy. So this is what that looks like. I am working on Priscilla right here. And that's what she names it in the chart, not me creating. It says it right on the back, Priscilla and Miles. I have finished Miles. I'm working on Priscilla. So last time I worked on this, I was working on the collar. I had finished the collar, and I had finished one of the cuffs. And so on this one, I actually got a lot done. I worked on it for 3 days. It was the first thing that I really stitched on really after I got sick, with any kind of amount of time. So this is what Priscilla currently looks like. So I finished her cuff. I added her the white trim of her hat. There's going to be a little bit of a blue ridge that actually like is the top of her head of the hat. Like, I'm not super well versed in pilgrim clothing. Let's just say that. I like to read old books, but historical fiction, but I don't remember what they would call that. So forgive me. I also added in her face and her hair, her eyes, her cheeks, so that she would not be a headless pilgrim. You're welcome. She's not creepy. I actually worked an extra day just so that she would have a face, eyes and cheeks. Her eyebrows and her mouth are back stitched, so I'll wait until I'm pretty much done stitching her before I add those. But this is stitched on a 28 count Monaco that I coffee tea dyed myself. And my sister was teasing me because I sent her a text. Okay. I don't know why. Every time I look at this, I don't know why. Oh, I also stitched these in, or at least these 3. But I always think these look like turkey legs. Check it out. Turkey leg, I tell you. Turkey leg. And she responded, are you hungry? Like, no, they don't look like turkey legs. So to keep me, it's for me, my own mental, I'm going to stitch like a line down the center just to kind of give it a non-turkey leg effect. Because I kid you not, every time I look at it, even from the cover photo, I always think it's turkey legs. I don't know. Yeah, I'm crazy. I know. It's fine. It's fine. I also started, this is probably a new start, not a whip. It was a new start now that I'm thinking about it, but it's fine. We'll go with the flow. This is Ptree. Ptree looks like this. And it's from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, one of the Christmas issues. And well, let me show you what I have so far. Okay, this is a 28 count Monaco. I'm stitching it 1/1. Yes, 1/1. So it's definitely taking more time than I had anticipated, because I think I mentioned last time I didn't realize when I first picked it up that it would be 1/1. So they're tiny, tiny stitches. I got a lot done. However, I had to, this swirl here, I had to unpick and redo because I miscounted. I left off something that made it off. So I had to pull it out because it's so symmetrical. It just had to be done. Normally I wouldn't have. I would have just picked it, except it was just going to be too noticeable. You would have noticed. So this is a Coates and Clark floss number 189. It's old floss, so this might not still be accurate. But at the time, so my sister-in-law gave me some floss that her grandmother had when she passed away. When her grandmother passed away. Let's clarify who passed away. Her grandmother passed away, and so I thought it would be great to stitch a piece using that floss to gift her, and I thought a Christmas ornament would be really great. And her favorite color is green, so if I did a Christmas tree, then I could use that green floss, because she also gave me like a pink, a variegated pink that's really pretty, but her favorite color is green, so I wanted to do that. So this is the start of that. I'll keep working on it. This was going to be my February ornament for the month, to go with hashtag 12 ornaments in 2024, I think that's what it is. I'll put the hashtag here because I figured out how to do that, guys. I figured it out. It's great. Anyway, so this, I'll just keep working on it, kind of plugging at it. Yes, words, people, words. So that's my last, oh, not my last WIP. I do have one more. This is the WIP Go call for March. It was my number 10. It was a choice for my daughter. It was my daughter's choice, my youngest daughter's pick. And she chose, let's see, there. This is called Luck of the Irish, I think. Yeah, Luck of the Irish. It's a Mill Hill kit. Comes with all the beads. Really, really pretty. So I got working on this week. I've only stitched it out on it one day, and this is what it looks like right now. Move my fingers. Okay, so what I did, I added the lighter color on the L into the swirl. I added this whole side and across here. I added this little bit on the K. Then I started working on the green down the middle here, which is kind of hard to see, but it's there. There's a lot more to this than you would think. So that was one night of stitching. It was kind of an earlier start than I normally do. So that was my last WIP. But as far as WIP Go goals, I did accomplish my February goals, which I was really excited about, especially considering I was sick. I didn't know if I'd make it. Then my other WIP Go call, number 1, is Raven by Nora Corbett. That's what this one looks like. And this one is my first like Mira or Nora, and it is so pretty. I've had this planned for a long time, and let's see, I might need my board. It's not going to be big enough, but this is what she looks like. Now, this is stitched on a fabric flare fabric. I think it's Witch's Moon. Yeah, Witch's Moon. And I think it looks so cool. I strategically placed her to be in the center of the moon with the bats kind of coming around her. I was really, really excited about how she was turning out. So this is my #1 call for WIP Go. So I'm excited to work on her, even though it's not Halloween. But I want to see the progress I can make on her. I think she's so pretty. Rolling her up so she doesn't get dirty. Okay. So that is my next WIP Go. After I finish my 3 days. I work 3 days, 2 to 3 days. So ideally it would be the 3, but I'm also giving myself some grace and knowing that times get busy, especially in May, to only do 2. August tends to be busy too with back to school. So that's what those are. As far as my February stats go, they're kind of pitiful, to be honest. Let's see. This is what this month looked like. I had my new starts. I had 3 new starts: Valentine Quaker, Chubby Bunny, and Ptree. I had 1 finish, which was my Peace on Earth All is Calm on the burgundy fabric. I had 2 fully finished items, which was my Dumbledore and my Always Valentine piece. I stitched 19 days. WIP Go numbers were 24 and 3, and I did meet those WIP Go calls. So I have already started working on some things for March, so which I'm really excited about. So far, you know, we're 7 days in and I have only stitched 4 of those 7. So hopefully I'll get some good stitching time on my birthday. That's my plan. So I don't have any purchases to show you. I did purchase a lot, like a lot. However, they're all market pieces and they just shipped last night, probably technically this morning, but I got this shipping notification last night from Abby at Top Knot Stitcher, and so I expect I'll probably get it probably Monday. I can hope, right? However, I forgot to show that my sister, she gifted me something because she accidentally purchased 2 of them. So she offered me the second one very generously, and it's this Llama Mill Hill kit. So it's part of the Spring Bouquet collection. It's called Little Llama. And a couple of my daughters really like llamas, so I thought I would stitch it, and they can fight over who actually will get it as their Christmas ornament. My guess is my youngest will probably win, and she'll probably keep it up year round, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. The first day of spring is coming up. I want to say it's either the 19th or 20th. It's the 19th. So March 19th, spring is coming. And my daughter was bemoaning the fact that she had voted for #BirthdayBees SAL, and it was not chosen. But she was like, but it's such a cute project. So let me show you what my plan is for stitching for the first day of spring. It will be While Away the Hours by Pedal Pusher, and that's what that looks like. I did change the blue in it so that it's a little bit of a different color, which you'll see. It's great. I'm excited about that one. It's kind of inspired by Helen's Make Way for Market SAL, because that was a market piece probably at least two, maybe 3 years ago. It doesn't say on the outside. At least 2 years ago. So that's my plan for that. Okay, last thing. Let's talk about different bunny cross stitches. Okay, I've had a few to choose from for my birthday Bunny SAL, and this is the first one that I have. It's a kit. There. It is by Alyssa Collection. This is a Russian kit. I'm not sure if she offers them anywhere else. It has a fantastic chart. Let me just kind of show you a little bit of it. That's the eye and stuff. It's full color. It's nice and big. Really pretty chart. So I would stitch it on probably a Lugana instead of the Ada that comes in it. I don't like stitching on crunchy Ada. If it was a soft hand-dyed Ada, I would consider it, but it's not. So I'll probably just save that for one of my girls to use. Not stitch, but to use. Another option was The Rabbit and the Rose by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. There, maybe. This was a market piece last year, so another tempting option. However, I have not thought much about what fabric I'd want to do, if I would use I think the called for are DMC flosses. So kind of unusual for her. But I haven't super thought about that one. Platinum might work. Oh, I would have to see if the white of this flower would work. But platinum's kind of my new favorite. I kind of love it. This is a chart I can't show you, but I put it in here so that I would remember. This is Pen Pals Spring Day at Carrot Farm by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is my working copy, but I will put in a picture of what that looks like here. So that one would be super fast stitch. It's only 50 by 40, like really fast stitch. So I might even just start it just to, you know, get it started. Then I have a freebie by Whilst Iris Naps, and it's a bunny one. I don't remember what it's called. I will put a picture of it right here. It also has a free carrot, like 3 carrots in a row, similar to the bunnies in a row, but they're carrots. So that's an option. But the one people, the winner, I think, will be, I mean, I reserve the right to change my mind. However, again, kind of inspired by Make Way for Market, getting some of those old market pieces out and stitching them. This is Luminous Fiber Arts, Friends Forever. It's the Friendship Series BFF Bunnies. And Misty just does amazing animals. I just love them. So this is the one that I probably will do, partly because it's been kitted for probably at least a year, maybe even like not too long after I got the actual chart. I have it in my cute bunny bag that I sewed myself. My sister is spoiled. She got one of these. I need to make one for my other sister. I have a sister that lives in Ohio and she cross stitches. And I have fabric for you, Autumn. I do. I really do. I just need to stitch it, sew it. Maybe that's what I'll do spring break, okay? I will sew some bags. Some bags that I've had fabric for, oh, maybe 3 years, some of them. Yeah, because it was while we were looking at colleges for my daughter. It's been a while, people. So these are the beautiful flosses. So that's so pretty. Okay, and then I have two different fabrics. It calls for maybe it doesn't. I was gonna say it calls for vintage country mocha, but I think it actually calls for one of Misty's fabrics. Yeah, it calls for one of hers and then suggests a substitute of either Picture This Plus Doubloon or Vintage Country Mocha instead, which is what this is. And I feel like the linen Vintage Country Mocha is much darker than like the Ada. And I feel like this is kind of dark. So I did get Vintage Sahara, which is its cousin, sibling, brother, what have you. And it's a much lighter color. And I think I like that one better. I think the flosses pop a little bit more on that one than they do on this one. So that's probably pretty accurate. So anyway, I think I'll probably end up doing the Vintage Sahara. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So that's the plan for my birthday. I will do my birthday bunny SAL. Please join me. Please don't forget to do that. If you want to join me in stitching a fun spring piece for first day of spring, that would be fun as well. Make sure that you tag me. I'm at stitchingjennie on Instagram as well. And Jennie is with an IE. Let's see, was there anything else? Just remember to make a comment, use the word brave, and I will be hopefully filming on the 27th. So I will be drawing the winner on the 26th. So make sure that you get that in. And hope you have a wonderful March, St. Patrick's Day, all the things. And I will see you next time.